Get ready to take a bite of Peach ATL. Peach ATL is Gay Atlanta's longest running LGBTQ business certified weekly magazine. We deliver the best in community events, arts, gay culture, and entertainment. Get weekly high-profile celebrity interviews and coverage of the most important events and festivals. Go to peachatl.com to learn more and get your bite of Gay Atlanta.
Hi, this is Mikkel Hildebrand, editorial director of Peach ATL magazine, and we look forward to seeing you in print.
Greetings to our viewing audience and welcome to the spring season premiere of Meak Productions' #1 talk show in syndication, Meak Pro Media Special Edition News. Of course, this is the CEO, Miko Evans, back at you once again, and we're very glad to be with you for another season. We're in season 12, if I'm not mistaken, I think, if I can keep count. For those of you who've been supporting us throughout the years, thank you all so much for your support. Once again, for our latest broadcast shows, both on radio and online television, please feel free to go to our Mixcloud account for our radio broadcast at mixcloud.com/Meak Productions. That's MEAK as in kite, Productions with an S. And you can check out all of our previously broadcasted radio shows. Want to give a shout out to our partner, media partner, Peach Atlanta Magazine. We've partnered with them to introduce one of their newest all lesbian talk shows, Let's Chat with Marcy and Ginger. So visit our site and check out the latest episodes between those two. And we're very excited for the upcoming episode we're going to be doing with them. That's going to be live broadcast. So please stay tuned for that. Also, for our latest broadcast on our YouTube channel, which you're viewing right now, that's youtube.com/Meak Productions TV. All of that information should be located at the bottom of your screen. Once again, it is with great pleasure for me to bring back an organization that we've been in partnership with for almost 10 years now. I think we're in our 8th or 9th year in being the official media partner with this historic organization. We're glad to welcome back the executive team of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals. Many of you, of course, remember them back in the day as the Atlanta Executive Network. But we have a new board now with new president and a whole new staff. And a lot of them have been associated with the organization for a long time and stuff. So I'm so happy and glad to have the new president, George Carlton, also some of the other executive team, Travis Hampton, Howard Burkett, and Cameron Hill. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Unmute yourselves and say hello to our viewing audience.
Hello, everyone.
Well, hey, everybody.
George, let's start with you. You've been associated with MAAP for a long time. Tell us about your first MAAP experience, and then we're going to go from there as far as you being the new president now. Let's start with you.
My first MAAP experience, I had come to Atlanta. I've lived in Georgia my whole life, but lived outside the city growing up. And when I moved to Atlanta, I really wanted to find a place to build connections with people that wasn't just at a bar or that kind of thing. I'm not good at kickball, so I couldn't play a sport anything like that. And so actually, Cameron had a friend who connected us and who was a part of MAAP at the time as a member, and just brought me as a guest to an event. Eddie Dill, who's a great guy and still a good friend of mine. And from there, just got roped in, I guess. Got to know the president at the time, who was a great friend of MAAP and still named Josh. And he, brought me in, and soon enough, I became a volunteer through marketing and became the marketing director after maybe a year and a half or so, or a year. And it's really been a privilege to become more involved with the organization, and especially with this group of guys that we have here. I think it's just been a great joy for me to be able to work with them this year as the president of MAAP. So it's been great.
Wow, that's awesome. What year was that when you joined, by the way?
It might have been either 2017 or 18. I think it might have been 2017.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
where did they go?
Yeah. About a short minute. Short minute.
Time's flying. It just keeps going faster and faster.
I know. Well, compared to the other organizations that you could have been involved with, what was it about MAAP that was different from the others?
For me, it was the sense of kind of connection and belonging that I felt coming to MAAP events, being able to feel comfortable. It was kind of like networking that was made for people that don't love traditional networking, essentially, having some structure to it. And also really enjoyed that I could just be my authentic self, not worrying about what information to reveal about being a part of the LGBTQ plus community. And that's actually why I'm really passionate about MAAP. Even today, our goal is to create space for people to bring their whole self to professional environments. And that's just so important to be able to really authentically connect and build a network with people, is to be yourself. And that doesn't, mean oversharing or any kind of thing, just being comfortable without worrying that because of how you identify or who you, love, that people might think differently about you. So that was a really big benefit to me, but it's just like a really tight group. I think it's one of those groups where people know each other, they're a part of it for a while. And it's just like anything, it kind of builds. And so the benefit just grows over time of building this group and your network.
Awesome. That's awesome. Let's go over here to Travis, Mr. Hampton. I remember when I first met
Sure.
you, I forgot what year that was. So start from the beginning. Tell us,
Oh boy.
give us a little bit about your background and when was you first introduced to MAAP and what got you involved?
Okay. Well, yeah, it's like you said, it's been a while, so I gotta put my thinking cap on how far back that was. But I believe I started with MAAP. I went to my first meeting back when it was AEN, I think around 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. And someone had suggested to me at the time, I was in school, grad school at Georgia Tech, and someone that I came across suggested attending this event that they were hosting to basically network. And, I was starting to look for internships and jobs at that time. So I figured it'd be a good opportunity to at least show and introduce myself to some people. And then, and hearing that also was at that time a predominantly gay male organization. It was definitely something that piqued my interest in terms of meeting more professional people like me in the network. So did that. And then about a year or two later, like with George, I've met Josh Lorenz, the president at the time, who transitioned from AEN to MAAP as we know it today. And been good friends with him for the past 7 or 8 years. And he invited me to come back down and, see what it was about. So I came, and it definitely was a lot different than that first AEN meeting I went to a few years prior. It was definitely changing and different demographics. I was seeing more younger people come to these events as opposed to before. I was one of the youngest people there at that time. It just seemed a lot more diverse than it was, and it was very encouraging and very, very exciting to see, actually. So I figured I'd give it a shot, and I joined as a member and attended some events and things like that. And then eventually, I think around 2016, 2017, I was invited to join the board and as a secretary. So I did that, and this is where I'm currently serving right now. Well, actually, no, I go back. I'm sorry. I started off as more of the membership, helping out with membership portion. So just helping get people signed in at, when they come to the events and getting information, signing up new people to join as members, that kind of thing, and following up with them, keeping track of our numbers, that kind of thing. So I've been doing that for a while. And I think 2018, 2019 is when I transitioned to serve on the board as MAAP secretary. So So I've been in it for a while, and it's been a great organization. I've seen a lot of faces come and go, but at the same time, there's always someone new. Good thing about this organization I've always valued and seen is that at every event, there's always someone new to meet. There's always a new face that just hearing about us or was familiar or maybe not as familiar about who we are and what we do. So it's definitely a great opportunity to meet someone new in a different field, profession, and just get to know some new people. So it's definitely been great experience for that.
Awesome. That's a great testimony. I
Yes, sir.
enjoyed that, man. It's been an awesome experience meeting you and networking with you as well, Travis, because I've seen your growth from the first time I've met you up to now. So, I mean, it's truly been wonderful. Let's go over here to Mr. Howard. Tell us about your first time being involved with MAAP, how you was introduced to MAAP, or if you was involved prior to that, when it was AEN. So kind of tell us about your background and your experience.
Sure. So mine is a lot shorter than everybody else, but I go to a lot of networking events. Somebody invited me to this actual event. Let's see, it was probably towards the end of 2019.
Wow.
So, yeah, it hasn't been that long. The first one I went to was at 10. So I was supposed to meet somebody there. They didn't show up. And I actually started talking to Josh and asked him, he had mentioned about volunteers. So I asked him if he had a treasurer, because my background's accounting and finance.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about that. I was supposed to get in touch with him, never did. So probably a month or so went by before I went to another event. And then I saw him again. He asked me about volunteering, and I like to keep to my word. I said, okay, I'll do it this time. I emailed him, and that's how I actually got involved with MAAP. So it didn't take me long to decide to do it. It was stopping procrastination.
Oh, okay.
And I've been on the board since January of 2020.
Wow. Awesome. Like right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow. So what can you say about your experience with MAAP so far, even, from the short time you've been involved with? What can you say about the organization?
I think it's a great organization. Very, I wouldn't say very diverse, but diverse group from when I first started, and it continues to grow.
Awesome. Awesome. Last but not least, we always say we save the best for last. Mr. Cameron Hill, tell us about your first MAAP experience. How was you introduced to the organization, and what you're doing with the organization now? Let's start with you.
All right. So, hey, everybody. I'm Cameron Hill, and I'm probably the oldest MAAP member who was not an official MAAP member. I started going to MAAP events back in 2015. So I moved to Atlanta back in the summer 2015, and how I got involved was actually the person who I introduced George to, Edwin Dill. He was the one who brought me in to check out MAAP and everything like that. So I've been going to events since then, but I was kind of like the fun auntie who like kind of just showed up like every now and then, had a good time, and then disappeared. So I've been a part of it for a long time, but I officially joined in 2019.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I've been friends with like the former president, Josh, and his husband was also a big part of MAAP at one time, David. So I've been friends with them forever. And Josh was just like, it doesn't make any sense that you're not an official member. George is now on the board now. He was like, you need to get it together and just stop appearing. So pretty much that's what I did. I joined, and it's been great. Like my first MAAP event, I met so many people. Like and I was new here, so it's just really cool. It's a good thing if you're new here, like socially, professionally, and all that, and professionally. Sorry about that, and all that, and I don't know. I had a good time. I will say the first time I went to a MAAP event, I was definitely there more for like, ooh, I need to meet some of the popular gays or whatever of Atlanta so I can have a good time or whatnot. So, you know, I met some people and had some good summer pool parties that year. But after that, I did start using more for like networking and stuff like that. And it's really good. Like I met so many people in my field because I do public relations or whatnot.
Wow.
And just made those connects. And I recently just joined the board. Like we had a great social media director who just recently left. So I took over his position.
Gotcha.
I'm just here to like, you know, bring different demographics to MAAP because I think we're doing really good at bringing in different types of people because like Travis said earlier, it's mainly like gay males. And honestly, it was mainly like white gay males, kind of older. But, you know, now we're having more people of color joining, more lesbians from the LGBT and more trans people and stuff like that. So that's really cool. So I'm just here to bring more awareness to that, get MAAP out there and keep people up to date with MAAP events and stuff of that nature.
This is all a good story because it's not every day you get a chance to see the different testimonies from people from different periods of MAAP's growth. Because, for example, like when I came on board right at the cusp of the transition. We became the media partner of AEN right at their 20th anniversary. And that was when Todd Hockerode was the last president of the AEN brand of the organization. And then at that time, Joshua, I think he was the membership coordinator at the time. And then he ended up evolving and transitioning to being the first president of the MAAP brand. And it's like from that point on, we saw this. It's sort of like it wasn't fast, but it had a steady pace. It's like the change was like steady growing. It was not too fast, not too slow. And it's like, it was really, really wonderful how MAAP has actually grown into an identity of its own that's really kind of separate from the other organizations. And that's one of the things that I can say about MAAP, that I've seen the growth over the years. I remember when it was the old AEN and how the setup was, and to have seen from the last president of AEN to even what Josh has done, and to see the diversity and the inclusion that they have executed throughout his tenure as president has been truly remarkable, and left a legacy, a standing foundation for the continuation in the future of MAAP is very wonderful. So of course, shout out to Josh. So, but George, back to you. What are, under this new leadership now, what are you all's plans for MAAP moving forward with this new leadership? And anybody can chime in if they want to, but I want to start with George.
Well, all that's true about Josh. I mean, he truly did build a great foundation for the organization, and also honored the legacy of the AEN, Atlanta Executive Network. As I have come on as marketing director and previous to being president, a lot of that we carry with us now. It's a long legacy, a long history, and a lot of trust that our community has had in MAAP in whatever form it's taken, back when it really was detrimental to people's careers, to be openly out and a professional. And so it really does fill a place where we have a great feeling of stewardship to the trust. Luckily, things have changed a lot, for our community. There's still a long way to go. And I think there's also people have very different experiences based upon how they, experience their relationship with professional work and that kind of thing and their identity. So he's done great. Under our new leadership, this team is just a phenomenal group. And I almost hesitate to say new because of the year, these folks have been a part of MAAP for a while, and a part of its growth over time. So it's almost like bringing about a division that has kind of, like you say, been that part of that continuous growth. As part of our vision for growth in the future, and certainly this year coming out of a crazy pandemic year in 2020, we have a renewed sense, I think, of optimism in our group. And I think that's something that I feel across the board, just among people, a sense that there might be a return to normal. And for us, we are really focusing everything that we do on our vision to create space for people to bring their whole self to professional networking environments. And just like Cameron said, if it is a group of predominantly white gay men, even if it's gay men and you're a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and perhaps you're a trans woman, or you're maybe a Black woman who's a lesbian, identifies as a lesbian, you might not feel comfortable bringing your whole self. And so we really are branching out and have formed some strong partnerships with organizations that allow us to authentically connect kind of that intersectionality line that our community has with other groups that are minorities. They're strong communities, either culturally, racially, religiously. And that organization is the Collective for Community Empowerment, called CCE. We're honored to be one of the founding members, and it's filled with organizations. There's six founding member groups, maybe 7. We're in there counting ourselves, but they serve the Asian community, Hispanic community, Jewish community, Black communities, and they're all professionally focused as well. And so through that partnership, as a new addition to how we encounter our community geographically in our Atlanta area, we're able to kind of serve the intersectionality, or the way that we can show up for people is more authentic. And like everyone said, it's a more diverse representation, a truer representation of our community as well. Not just for the LGBTQ, but Atlanta is a growing diverse city. And so we want to capture that as well.
Before we continue, because I would definitely like to get you all's individual testimonies as far as how did the pandemic not only affect you all as an organization, but how did it affect you all individually? So we're going to take our only commercial break. And when we come back, we have more with the new leadership of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals right here on the spring season premiere of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News. Please stay tuned. We have more in store. You're tuned in to Meak Productions syndicated shows. Don't go anywhere. We do have more in store.
Greetings, this is Jim Farmer, Festival Director of Out on Film. Since 1987, Out on Film has been dedicated to supporting the exhibition of LGBT film and video art forms with top-rated films, intimate settings, audience participation, and special celebrity events, which gives moviegoers and sponsors a way to connect and extend a 90-minute film into a lasting relationship. For more information about film submission, the history of the festival, and how to donate or sponsor, please visit outonfilm.org. That's outonfilm.org.
Meak Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization.
Hey everyone, this is Marcy Alt and Ginger Nichols, and welcome to Let's Chat.
We are Atlanta's newest all-lesbian talk show, and we are going to be here to talk about the latest and hottest topics concerning the LGBTQ community here in Atlanta.
Tune in twice a month. We're going to share our life experiences, and we're going to dive, when I say dive, I mean dive, into the topics that you want to hear about from, of course, a woman's perspective.
We're going to be broadcasting on Sundays. Let's Chat is produced and sponsored by Meak Productions Incorporated and Peach Media and Printing. For the podcast link, visit www.peachatl.com. Once again, that's peachatl.com, and we can't wait to see you. So let's chat.
Hear you, talk to you,
Chat with you.
let's chat.
Hey there, this is George Carlton, President of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals. Are you looking to expand your business, seeking employment connections, or want to grow your professional network but don't love traditional networking? The MAAP is right for you. As Atlanta's first LGBTQ+ business association, we pioneered partnerships and networking with Atlanta's leading changemakers to help you connect authentically, in person and online, with people from diverse industries identities, and histories. For more information about membership and being part of our legacy, visit our website at www.maapatl.org. Once again, that's maapatl.org. We look forward to connecting with you real soon.
Meak Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization.
Get ready to take a bite of Peach ATL. Peach ATL is Gay Atlanta's longest running LGBTQ business certified weekly magazine. We deliver the best in community events, arts, gay culture, and entertainment. Get weekly high-profile celebrity interviews and coverage of the most important events and festivals. Go to peachatl.com to learn more and get your bite of Gay Atlanta.
Hi, this is Mikkel Hildebrand, editorial director of Peach ATL Magazine, and we look forward to seeing you in print.
And we're back with our special interview with the new executive team of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals right here on the spring season premiere of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News. Of course, this is Miko Evans, the CEO of the world's first LGBT exclusive talent agency and production company. Once again, don't forget to check us out on our main website at www.meakproductions.com. That's MEAK as in kite, productions with an S.com. For more information about how to join the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals, please visit their official website at MAAP as in Paul, ATL.org. Once again, that's MAAP, ATL.org. Before the commercial break, I was talking about how I wanted to actually hear you all's input as far as how did the pandemic affect not only the organization, but how did it affect you all individually? And anybody can start. Anybody.
I guess I'll go ahead and go first, be the volunteer. So the first part of the question, you're saying, how did the pandemic affect me personally?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, luckily for me, I'm by profession, I'm an architect. I work for an architecture firm in Buckhead. With Now Bolton Associates. We mainly do residential and some commercial projects and with hotels and things like that. Typically in downturns like this, you know, our profession is typically the first to slow down like it did in 2008. It definitely, you know, hit us kind of hard then. But fortunately, during this recession for us, we didn't experience too much of that. As a matter of fact, I mean, construction was one of the fields that was deemed
essential.
Essential, yes, thank you. Essential. So they were still, you know, still working throughout. So, you know, without any slowdown. So we were fortunate enough to, at least in my field career, to still keep a job, keep position, you know, so we would still have some steady work coming in. Mainly we're working from home for the first couple of months. That was something new and something different that I hadn't experienced before in my career working. Mainly, you know, go into an office setting. That's just mainly how everything's set up. But working from home, that was a bit of a challenge at first, transition. Much to look forward to. It was definitely something I got used to very quickly, but definitely, if you're something that you're not used to or dealing with, then it is, you know, it is a bit of a transitional step there. So there was that. And in terms of interacting with people in the organization, you know, we had to switch to a more, MAAP itself had to switch to a virtual setup. So that was also new for us as well. I think we did well given the circumstances for what we had, and just trying to, you know, at least keep some momentum of organization going through duration. We weren't sure how long it would be, you know, this way, or how long it was actually going to take before we came back in person. So that was one thing. So we kind of took it kind of a month at a time, sort of thing. So I say from that, I mean, we ended up meeting some new people too who weren't familiar with us before from organization, who maybe just had heard of us recently just from online, and they expressed interest in wanting to join us for our virtual events. So we've had a few of those, and we also had some ongoing interest in, and I guess we'll discuss this a little further, along for our future plans, but it's something that we're looking to kind of continue a little in the duration too. I mean, eventually we will meet back in person, but just as a another branch, if you will, of networking and connecting and meeting with people, I think is that the virtual realm or the virtual resources that we have is definitely something that we're looking to kind of stay into, at least for the duration, and to connect with people that way and also in person. So that's pretty much it for me. I mean, I don't think there was anything significant other than that, but I mean, thankfully I was able to stay busy, and a lot of other people, of course, out here wasn't as fortunate, and a lot of sectors actually shut down. I know our hospitality field shut down, so we just shifted more to residential construction, which everyone needs a place to live. It's not slowing down anytime soon. So
Gotcha.
But yeah.
What about you, Howard, in the since you work I know in the financial realm, how was it for you?
So for me, I'm more of an in-person kind of guy. I was out at events almost every night during the week sometimes. So it was a big shift for me to not be able to go anywhere. I mean, it was nice being at home, but it got boring after some time. So, eventually I found different virtual events. I still do some virtual events, but I found some now that are getting back out. And, I've been going out probably since November into in-person events. Yeah, some more are coming back out, but not too many were before. So it's a different shift for me, but it also helped because instead of just being able to help people here in Atlanta, I can help people all across the country now. So I can do everything on Zoom. So it actually helped me.
Gotcha. I think I had said the same thing in a previous, not just in the previous MAAP event, but in some of the other online networking events that I've been a part of, that one thing that this pandemic has done is that it kind of, whatever bridges that wasn't built previously when we was meeting together, it's like things have been broadened now. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that a lot of people were actually forced to actually be at home, and it's like many was forced to sit still and kind of rethink. And to those people who probably never thought about doing different things, even if their business was online or their business was essential, they had to kind of think of more creative ways to stay afloat. So yeah, it's like on one end, the pandemic was a problem, but on another end, it ended up being a blessing in disguise for, some other people as well. So yeah, it's like,
yeah. and the other thing, didn't miss the traffic.
Okay. A lot of people were saying that. Don't miss the traffic. Cameron, what about you?
I feel like I just had the same type of experience that a lot of people had my age and whatnot. Let's see where to start. I mean, I will say I am in grad school right now, so I don't want to name the school because I don't want to say anything rude about them. But online classes was very hard. Learned that my professor really couldn't teach. It was kind of like a hey, here's the stuff, you figure it out. You ask a question, 3 weeks later, you'll hear back, and that assignment's already due. So online classes were really hard for me as a grad student. I will say that, like not having the access to your professor and all that stuff was just very difficult. And I talked to so many other people who said they had that same experience. So that was one thing. With work, luckily a lot of it was just, we just made it, we work from home. It kind of turned out that you do not have to go to the office to do my type of work. So I think a lot of people learn that too, because, a lot of jobs will use this excuse, no, you have to be in the office to do this certain thing or whatnot. But when the pandemic hit, a lot of people were able to still functionally do their jobs working from home.
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot. So I worked from home a lot. I feel like maybe I was a little bit like too ambitious because I was like, you know what? I have all this free time now. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to like crazy stuff like that, which obviously I didn't do. But at the time, I was like, oh, I have all this. I'm going to write a book. You know what? Who needs the gym? I can do more stuff at home anyways. I ain't got to worry about using gym equipment. So let me work out at home. No, I gained like 10 pounds.
Okay.
Gained an extra 10 pounds. That book did not get written.
Okay.
Discover a lot of new Netflix series. So that was cool, you know.
Yeah, I
So,
think a lot of people gained a lot of pounds
yeah.
during that time because of all that time that they had. You know, of course, you know, depending on the job that they was in, a lot of people probably still had to like clock in via the computer online and stuff like that, you know, but they still, you know, had that time at home and stuff like that. So yeah, it was interesting. And then you had a lot of people that was able to find themselves more because they had nothing but time to themselves and stuff like that. So like I said, you know, it was kind of, you know, it was like a roller coaster, you know, some up, some down. So it depends. So yeah.
Yeah. And I took the pandemic seriously. So I really just recently started going out after I was like fully vaccinated.
Okay.
So me as a very social person, like I was like, okay, like 2 months. Okay, that's all we have to make it to 2 months. And it happened to be a whole year. And I was starting to lose it eventually because like, I need to see people, I need to hang out, I need to go travel somewhere. Like I was like George would tell you, like I was like, I don't know if I can do this much longer.
I know.
And, you know, I had like certain times like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen anybody or anything in like almost a year. I would be so mad because I started going to the gym towards the end or whatever, like maybe the beginning of this year when it kind of opened up, and I was like, I'll be so mad if I got COVID after waiting this long and being anti-social shock so I wouldn't get it or whatnot. But luckily I made it the whole year without having COVID and stuff. But personally, I mean, just like my personal life, it was just like the social part. It was very hard for me, and online classes were hard. Those were the only thing. I like to talk to people and be out and about, maybe grab a drink and socialize. So that was just hard for me. Pertaining to the MAAP part of it, I think I feel like we're gonna all echo the same thing, but I will say this. MAAP, just like a lot of other organizations, I think a lot of us realize that, oh wow, we're very event heavy. We rely on events.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was hard for a lot of people. I know there was like lots of charities who their charity work was from events. That's how they got a lot of their money and stuff like that. So I think we learned to navigate it in a way where, okay, well, we can't do events. What's some other things we can do? And we thought of clever ways with virtual events, like George and Tyler did, or Woody maybe. They did a mixer type of thing, so they showed everybody how to make drinks or whatever. Online. We had virtual coffee hours in the morning and stuff like that. So I think we navigated it pretty well when it comes to the MAAP stuff or whatnot. But yeah.
Awesome. George, want to go ahead?
No, I think we've all gone. We're all less sane now than we were this time last year, I think. But for me, I joined and personally, I started a new job the week that everything shut down, which was an interesting experience. So on Monday, I started the job at PwC. It's an accounting firm, and I do communications for them. So I started on Monday, and people were making the jokes like, oh, should we shake hands? I don't know. Should we say like the C word, COVID, the C word? And then by Friday, all the offices are shut down and have not opened back up yet. So I mean, it's the same thing. It's just been really interesting in all kinds of ways. I think my family lives close by, so I think for me it's tough not being able to see them for a while and being concerned for them, and then telling mom, stay out of the Olive Garden. You don't need to go to eat at a restaurant, all this kind of stuff. I think what you said about people finding themselves, I don't know that I found myself necessarily, but I think all of us had a lot more time, to your point, to be a little more introspective and decide like, what is really important. And I think the pandemic did reveal that for a lot of folks. I don't know if it did for me, but I hope I have a better perspective than I think I do when we started the year last year, you know.
Gotcha. When do you all expect to open, as far as open public events again, as far as when you all want to start having public events? Have you all kind of gave like a tentative or anything like that, or you're going to kind of continue the virtual thing for a little bit longer until, you know, you all feel? Because even though our state governor has, you know, officially said that Georgia is back open for business, a lot of individual companies are still operating according to, you know, a certain COVID guidelines. So regardless of what the governor is saying, some organizations are concerned about their staff and their employees and stuff. So they're kind of keeping themselves safe as well. So are you all planning to do any more public events like toward the remainder of the year or anything like that? Or is it going to be like probably another year before y'all do that and continue to do the virtual stuff? So what's y'all plans?
Well, for me at least, I've been interested to see how quickly the vaccine rollout has gone. As we almost planned 2 versions of the year, the virtual version and then the version where we can be safely back in person, and safety being the key thing there. I think just kind of balancing, are people actually going crazy? Like, are they able to build connection in a meaningful way if it is virtual? For some people, that is an environment that works really well. So to Travis's point, we're going to keep some of those virtual events alive moving forward. And like Cameron mentioned, being a little less event reliant in how we engage with our community and our members and our partners and sponsors. I am also with Howard, like I'm an in-person kind of person, as long as we can be safe. That is obviously the criteria that all of this is grounded upon. We have a plan to go back in person in a safe as we can be, limited capacity, maybe staggered approach to timing when people come to events, at venues that allow for good circulation. We also have I love a branding challenge. You know, I've been the marketing director before, so we have MAAP masks that people can wear over their faces and that sort of thing. So our plan is this summer to be back in person. We'll be talking about that to our members on social media and email. Each social media, a little plug for us there, I guess. You can do MAAP ATL across platforms, MAAP ATL, and through email as well. So anyone can sign up and learn about what we're going to be doing then. It is obviously a little bit of a rolling plan, and so it's nothing certainly set in stone just yet. For now, we have a few more virtual events coming up that we will continue to push forward with, but we're hoping and planning for a soon return to finally being in person.
Cool. When is the next virtual event so our viewing audience can possibly participate?
We have a morning mingle coming up on the 28th. So that'll be next Wednesday. Well, it depends on when you watch this. It'll be the 28th of April, 2021. So if you're seeing this in 2022, it's long been past. But we have that one, and then soon after that, we're finalizing details. We'll have a mindfulness discussion with an author named Natalie, who is a MAAP member, and she set out to write a book at the beginning of the year, like Cameron said, and darn it, she did it. So she wrote a book, and I was fortunate enough to get an early release version to read a wonderful exploration of mindfulness and kind of just curiosity. I think we all start life curious and wondering what the world is like. She brings that energy in her book to face it inward, like be curious about yourself and have a very mindful approach. So we'll have a mindfulness discussion with her. I know I could use that at this point of the year and anytime really. And so that should be valuable for anybody that comes. Past that, we'll continue to do our morning small group. We call them morning mingles, a very modern term, mingle, but small group settings with no real agenda. It's just a way for people to build connection. Some people really enjoy the virtual environment. Some people can't make it after work, even if we were in person and we would go back. And so those early morning sessions at 8 a.m., there'll be probably 2 a month, where the cadence will be around that. So we'll continue those going forward, and there will be more events posted to the MAAP website.
Okay, cool then. I like the way that y'all, when I first heard about y'all morning mingle and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's different. They've never done that. I'm so used to them being like mostly in the evenings, and then every now and then you all will have y'all used to have the luncheons, especially during the time when it was the AEN, and then I know you all tried to continue that on the MAAP and stuff like that. But the morning ones, I'm like, yeah, because as an entrepreneur, I know those are the ones that I was introduced to back in the day when I started my business, and where you get we used to get up at 7:30 in the morning, and meet at 7:30. I've been to those that where you meet at 7:30 and then continue on. So that's good that y'all do the morning mingles and stuff. So looking forward to being part of the next one. And once again, that's going to be April the 28th. That's next Wednesday. I think the last Wednesday in this month. So that's going to be at 8:00 a.m. And for those that are viewing, once again, to stay in tune with what's going on with MAAP, please visit their official website at www.maapatl.org. Once again, that's MAA, 2 A's, P as in Paul, ATL.org. All of that information should be located at the bottom of your screen. Before we end this episode, any last words from anybody?
Well, before whoever wants to mention, I want to start by saying thank you. Miko, you have been a great partner. Meak Productions has been such a great community partner. So both for you, your business, and you personally, I know I speak for this group and MAAP as well in the Atlanta Executive Network. You've been a phenomenal partner with us, and we're proud that you trust us to be a partner with you as well. So thank you for inviting us today to chat with you, and we know we'll have many more chats, but it's been great to share our perspectives and introduce folks to this group.
Thank you all so much for the continued relationship. I'm looking forward to what's growing in the future. Travis, you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just going to second what George was saying. We're definitely very thankful and appreciative for you, Miko, to have us on and kind of give us a little spill about ourselves to what we're going to do. And I'm definitely looking forward to all the great things we're going to do this year. Like, as George was saying, I think this time was, it had its bad moments, but the good part about this too was also it allowed us the time and the effort to really kind of sit down and reset everything and kind of get a more defined focus in place for what we want to see this organization do and how we would like to see it grow and evolve and continue to evolve over the coming months and years. So we're definitely looking forward, and we got some exciting things that we're definitely trying to plan and get together, and we're hoping to have the first in-person event soon, so hopefully this summer, and like George was saying, start slowly back into the usual mode, and with hopefully new energy, new fresh energy and focus, and hope we can grow our organization even bigger than what we had before the pandemic. So definitely excited and looking forward to it.
Same here, likewise, because I know the last public event that you all had, actually we hosted here at our office space here at the 1342. Back then it was still known as Oxwork. It's the 1342 Glenwood now. And that was like the last big public event that we had. And that was right before the pandemic. And so I'm looking forward to us having more of those, because those are Saturday brunch. Yeah, I think that was like the second time that we've tried that and stuff like that. So we got to do that again.
Yeah, that was a really good event. I think, that definitely was a very successful event in terms of turnout, and we met a lot of new people, a lot of new faces came in, and the fact that we were in the East Atlanta Village area too, I think definitely helped. And that's something I want to mention too from our organization. We're definitely going to keep that focus of changing up our location when we do meet back in person. I think we got some good feedback from our guests and our members on when we were doing that the year prior to the pandemic.
Mhm.
We would have a venue in Midtown, then we'd bounce over to Avondale Estates or
Mhm.
East
I re-
Point, or East Atlanta. So I think we got some good turnout and some good feedback based on, how our location and venue changes. So I think that's something that we'll still look into, and definitely would see a lot more coming in. So
Yeah, because I think what made it real interesting was you all actually went to locations that was kind of like new. And, a lot of people, never heard of, or either they heard about it, but always wanted to go and never had a chance to go. And by you all
Right.
being there, that gave them the opportunity to experience that particular business. And I know the business appreciated it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Same here.
Any other last words before we end? I just want to say that congratulations to all of you. Thank you all so much for continuing the legacy of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals and continuing with the momentum. It has truly, truly been an honor to still be partnering with you all, because we're almost 10 years in our relationship. So we got to do something to celebrate that. So I got to find out.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, hold up. Hold up. I think next year will be our 10-year anniversary in our relationship, because it was 2012 when I, became partners with AEN, and then I was there for the transition. And started in 2014 when it became MAAP. So we're gonna have to celebrate next year.
Send each other flowers, or take each other to dinner or something.
Yeah, we got to do that.
No, we should celebrate that.
To have something
sure.
there. We got to do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We really do.
Definitely.
Well, to those people who are viewing, thank you all so much for tuning in once again to our spring season premiere of our #1 syndicated talk show, Meak Pro Media Special Edition News. Don't forget to check us out on our Mixcloud account for our radio versions of our shows, which is mixcloud.com/Meak Productions. And for all of our video content and online TV content you're viewing right now, youtube.com/Meak Productions TV, all one word. To the executive team of MAAP, thank each one of you for participating. This is historic because, like I said, we never had the whole team to be on our show. So this is awesome. Shout out to Cameron, to Howard, to Travis, and of course, our new president, Mr. George Carlton. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And to our viewing audience, we hope to hear from you and hopefully see you real soon. Y'all take care.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.